for about 3 or 4 months, I would write to Hazur and say, Hazur, this month I wasn't able to find a bed, but please pray in the next month that someone will come. And it wasn't until about 4 months later, where an elderly gentleman in the Jamaat who called me and told me that he had come across someone at the bus stop, and neither he knew English nor the person that he was talking to knew English. So somehow he communicated to that particular individual and pointed towards our mosque in Walsall and guided him towards the mosque and showed him around. And it wasn't until he got to the main hall inside the mosque where the pictures of the Khulafa are, and he was just showing each of the Khalifas to him. And he stopped at the picture of Khalifa Rabi Rahimullah, and he just paused and looked at him, and he said that, I have seen this man somewhere. And so this elderly gentleman, he phoned me and told me this incident and said, I want you to be able to talk to him because I can't speak English and he is an Arab, so you may have to communicate with him in Arabic. So he was someone who came from Egypt and he settled down in the UK, and he was just going from mosque to mosque doing prayers, but never had any particular connection with any of those mosques until he came to the Ahmadiyyat Jamaat mosque. And he was someone which I found was always so reliant on Allah. Wherever he went in the world, he would always put Allah before anything. And this is something which really shocked me and I really caught on to. And I realized that anything I ask him, whether it's help with food or help with money or anything, he would always say, Allah is looking after me. And I knew that this is someone very special, very pious, and he would always put prayer and Allah before anything. And so it got to a point where he mentioned to me once that I'm ready to become an Ahmadi. And so we sat down in the mosque, and there were other members of the Jamaat there as well. And I showed him the bet process that happens during Jalsa. And I said, look, this is the bet process of how we do bet in Jalsa behind our Khalifa. And that also made him realize that this is something very powerful. And so after he did the initiation and the pledge of initiation, we did dua. Alhamdulillah, these stories I'm sure many people have as well. But I'm very fortunate to have that experience, to have seen it firsthand and be part of it as well, of how Allah guides people's hearts towards the Jamaat.
Ahmadiyyat Zindabad, Zindabad, Zindabad. Ahmadiyyat Zindabad, 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 Ahmadiyyat Zindabad. आज चिरागा हर घर में है, आज खुशी हर दिल में है, नई सदी में हम दाखिल हैं, शुक्र खुदा का हर दिल में है। अहमदियत जिंदाबाद, अहमदियत जिंदाबाद, अहमदियत जिंदाबाद, अहमदियत जिंदाबाद। करते थे सदियों से जिसका वो मेहदी है आ चुका, आएगा ना और कोई अब आने वाला आ चुका। अहमदियत जिंदाबाद, अहमदियत जिंदाबाद, احمدیت زندہ باد، احمدیت زندہ باد۔ پرچم ہم اسلام کا ہر دم دنیا میں لہرائیں گے، کانٹے چاہے لاکھ بچھا دو قدم بڑھاتے جائیں گے۔ احمدیت زندہ باد، 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 زندہ باد، زندہ باد۔